Hello everyone and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, it's another speed build. This is kind of inspired by a beach house. It's not built in Solani, but it is built in Brindleton Bay. It's inspired by because this lot is kind of like right beside a beach. It's not on the beach, but you can see kind of the beach from this lot, and this is the tiny little lot beside the Delgado house. Delgado, I don't know how their name is pronounced, but it's a tiny little starter home. Well, this build isn't, but this lot has a tiny little starter home on it. I was very inspired by some pictures I saw on Pinterest to build this. I wanted it to have kind of a big front porch. It kind of wraps around. There's like some seating on the porch, there's a grill, there's some tables. Overall, I really enjoyed building this house. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 master bedroom with an ensuite bathroom and a toddler's room, an upstairs bathroom and a half bath downstairs as well. I had a lot of fun building this. I thought the color scheme kind of worked very well throughout the entirety of the house. There's a lot of white, a lot of very light wood. There is a little bit of blue, and I had a lot of fun building that. I don't usually build houses with very big porches, especially kind of like a wraparound porch, but I did in this one. And I believe I actually wanted the front of the house to have stairs, and now that I'm thinking of it, I don't think I added stairs. I don't think I raised this up to be on a foundation. I think I might have forgotten to do that because, oh, that's kind of embarrassing. I wanted the front to have stairs as well as kind of in the back I left a little area for stairs to go as well into the garden. And I don't think I did that. I also don't think there's anything in the garden now that I think about it. It was late at night when I was building this and I just wanted to finish it, so that's not good. But you could definitely add a couple of things into the garden. I was just so focused on the little patio that I just forgot I added a back door to the garden, and clearly I forgot to add a foundation as well, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Recently I've also been having a lot of fun landscaping. I really enjoy building the exteriors of houses and even like community lots, just as much as I like doing the interior. And I really like landscaping it. Maybe I'm not the best at it, but I have a lot of fun doing it. And I also really like to add lights, like outdoor lights, because I think the house, it kind of just brings it all together when it's dark and the plants are kind of lit up and there's some front porch lights. I think it kind of brings it all together very nicely. As you can see here, I kind of tried to blend this lot into the existing world around it by using trees that I could see in the world to make it look like it truly belongs and not like, it's just this random lot. I also don't think I used terrain paint. Another thing, this little fireplace that I used on the outside is from City Living, and I think it's so cool because I think it's clearly meant to be like an outside fireplace, but I believe it lights up. There's like a little fire pit in it and it kind of lights up during gameplay, which I think is really cool. As you can also see, I added a little laundry day kind of thing, and I don't think I followed it up with like a hamper, so that would be annoying. I forgot that this is a functional item. I just thought it looked kind of cool, so I'm so sorry to whoever's gonna play here, but I thought it kind of matched the aesthetic of what I was going for. I build a lot of houses and I never end up playing in them because I prefer building than playing. I also ended up changing the wooden table to a glass one in the end because I thought it looked a bit more outdoorsy, and I ended up using the first table, the white table, inside of the house, I think, or a very similar looking one anyway, but a longer version in like the more formal dining area. So that was really fun. The dining area inside of the house, we'll get to it in a bit, It's a little awkward. It's a little tight. I do think your Sims should be able to get around it because it's sure they only need half a tile to get around something. But it is a bit of a tight fit anyway. But this house in general is quite small. I prefer building smaller houses than I do bigger ones anyway. And also, peek the little llama I added out in the front. I thought that was really cool. I never really use like the grass kind of statues, but I thought that's a perfect place to put a llama. Now, I kind of struggled figuring out where to put the stairs. I wanted to leave room downstairs still for a dining, a kitchen, and a living room or sitting room. And I just couldn't figure out where to put the stairs, where in the building to put the stairs so that it all works, as I don't really like having very big hallways. But I think it all ended up working out in the end. I think you could definitely try to make this be a 3-bedroom house, but I added a bathroom upstairs to the ensuite of the master bedroom. You could definitely turn it into maybe another bedroom if you wanted to have more Sims kids in here. And there is a toddler room upstairs, which is one of the very last things that we get around to in this building. Also, there was a new floor in the base game. I have not seen that floor ever. Like, it's probably been in the base game forever. It's like hexagonal kind of tiles, and there's 2 versions of it. It's the one that I end up using in the bathroom on the floor, and it's probably been in the base game for a good while now, and I just haven't seen it at all. So I used it anyway. I thought it was quite nice. I think the base game lacks a lot of tile. I think the base game in general kind of lacks a little bit. Like, if you're kind of like me and you don't have a lot of packs, then it definitely lacks in the bed department. I have a couple expansion packs. I think I have 3 game packs and like 2 stuff packs. I don't have any kids. I do really want to buy Love Struck and Growing Together. I really want both of those packs. I want all of the packs. Who doesn't? Well, apart from the Star Wars pack, I don't want that one. I'm not spending my money on that. But I would really like Growing Together and Love Struck. I think I would rather Love Struck more than Growing Together, if I'm being honest. Maybe even Life and Death. I'd love to do like a Black Widow challenge with those 2 packs. I think it would be quite chaotic compared to us just doing it with, without those packs. I'm kind of just yapping on about anything right now, but as you can see here, the dining room is a little bit tight. It is kind of a small house. I do tend to have kind of a bad habit of just making 1-bedroom houses every now and then, and I wanted to add another bedroom because it's more realistic that, it's a 2-bedroom house and not just a 1-bedroom house. I also really enjoy adding the master bedrooms downstairs instead of upstairs. I think it's kind of a nice little touch, but this house was too small to do that, so the master bedroom went upstairs along with the other 2nd bedroom. I also had this little obsession, you'll probably see this later in the build, where I add a bookshelf into the corner. I don't ever use shelves in this game. I use bookshelves, like the pre-made ones in, the bookshelf category, but there's also singular shelves, and I never use them. And I've been doing it a lot recently. I've seen some upcoming videos. There's shelves everywhere. I'm really into shelves all of a sudden. I think it kind of adds a little bit of a cluttered feel. It's not by any means cluttered, but I think it kind of fills up the space in a very realistic way. Like, a lot of people have bookshelves in their room. I have bookshelves in my room. So I think it kind of fills up the space in a very realistic way. I have kind of a habit of putting paintings everywhere on every single space on the wall, and it's not that realistic. So bookshelves it is. I also am obsessed with these pillows. I love putting them on like couches and sofas, just sizing them up and down and changing the color of them so they match. I really like doing that. I'm so glad we have this item in the game. It's actually so handy. I remember back in the day when we didn't have these pillows, I would take a chair and size it down, like a dining chair, and put it in the sofa. And this only worked with some sofas, because some of them you'd either be able to see the chair through the sofa, or it just wouldn't work, like the Sims wouldn't sit down on it. I remember I used to do that sometimes to kind of, you know, customize my sofas a little bit, and I actually don't know if Sims can sit on these sofas. I do assume they can, but also they're Sims. They're smarter than we think, but they're not that smart. And here are the tiles I was talking about. I have never seen those in the base game before. They've probably been in the base game forever. I have not seen them. It's my first time using them, I think. I have not seen them. I swear when I was building a different build a few days ago, they were not there. So I don't know if they were just added. I'm sure they weren't. I'm sure I'm just very unobservant. Now we're moving on to the master bedroom. And I quite like this bedroom. I think it's very nice, very clean and very simple. I'd live in this house. It's not necessarily my style. I think my dream house looks a bit different. Maybe I could build my dream house one of these days. I think that would be kind of a cool idea. But I think this house, definitely I'd live in it. It's a very nice house. And it's probably really expensive. I never really make budget builds. I definitely should start doing that a bit more often. But I don't. I'm thinking of making a base game 10k starter house soon, so stay tuned for that and subscribe if you want to see it. Because I need to make more, not only more base game builds, not that I own that many packs, I kind of use the same items in every single build or a variation of the same items because I only have a few packs. I have a good few, but compared to how many I'm missing, I don't have that many packs, if that makes sense. I do tend to overuse some of the same items, but you're kind of gonna do that, or when, rather, you only have a limited amount of packs. We're coming to the end of the video, so I hope that you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching.